Good evening, salutations, my soap opera fans. So, question of the night: Sonny Corinthos needed on General Hospital. What's good, Amy? Thank you for joining. Hope you had a great day. Um, it's an interesting question. There's a lot of people that love him. There's a lot of people that can't stand him. Um, you know, I've been watching the show for a very long time, and only recently started to go on Facebook, maybe a couple of years ago. And I didn't realize how many people do not like him. Like actually can't stand him. So the question tonight is, you think that Sonny is needed on General Hospital? What's good, Amy? Thank you for joining. What's good, Kyrese? What's good, Isaiah? Sonny has never been needed for years. See exactly what I'm talking about. There's people that don't like him. What's good, Mel? Thank you for joining tonight. What's good, CW? What's good, Joy? Thank you for joining. This it's a very interesting question because Sonny is the type of guy that you love or you hate. There's not really a lot of wiggle room for him. What's good, Dolly? Yep, I can imagine, Mel. Usually do. I actually just finished watching B&B. I just finished watching B&B. What's good, Blackmon? Thank you for joining. Queen Beauty is in the chat. What's good, Queen Beauty? Without Sonny, there would be no show. See, there's a lot of people that do like Sonny. Um, he for me, he definitely made the show. What's good, Denise? What's good, CW? CW says honestly, at this point, I would say the show works with or without him. What's good, Shauna? Thank you for joining, Karen. What's good, Laura? Nikisha? Yeah, I'm starting to. Thank you, Nikisha. Thank you. I'm starting to. Oh, Blackmon and Nikisha. I put your names when I did my thank you video. I put your names in the description because for some odd reason I thought I read your names out loud, and I apologize because I didn't. So I'm really sorry about that. That's why I put your names out there. But thank you for being member stuff. Queen Beauty is in the chat. How you doing tonight? It's always really nice to see new faces. Isaiah says one of the worst things about Sonny is that the show puts him in his place and treats him like a moral compass when he has the most baggage of any character on the show. Hmm, never looked at it like that. Laura, I'm starting to feel a bit better. I'm still, constantly blowing my nose, but my throat isn't hurting anymore, so that's good. And it says, however, I still love Sonny, but hate his current story. Yeah, there's a lot of people that's not really a fan of it. Charlotte says, I knew Ulbrich wasn't nothing. Thank you, Denise. Thank you. I'm starting to feel better. Oh, Nikisha. What's good, Kanye? Kanye, how you doing tonight? Yeah, I read it back and I was like, wait, I'm missing somebody. And I went back to my thing and yeah, Joy, I feel like without Jason, it's just not the same. Tracy was good, Tracy. Dolly's in the chat. Dolly says, I think the show would be fine without Sonny. There was once a time we couldn't picture GH without Luke. That's very true. I'm starting to feel better, Blackman. I am. I'm still blowing my nose a lot, but other than that, um, I'm doing good. Scanner's in the chat. What's good, Scanner? It's been a minute. And Isaiah, how have you been? It's been a hot minute since I've seen you in the chat. It's good to see you again. Now says Bill said to Liam and Wyatt. Yeah, man, I didn't understand what was the point of him going over his house to say the same thing over and over again. Yeah, okay. It's funny, Isaiah, it was good, Gwen. It seemed like you stopped liking them around the time I actually started watching the show. So that's pretty interesting. And why is this not filled out for? I think I started to. You sure about that, Nikisha? Because here's the thing. Um, as much as I don't like Nina, I feel like she would feel a bit of remorse though. Now, Laura says I agree that Sonny is a good character, but I can't stand the storyline. It's crazy. Like I don't even really like um this particular brand of wine, but I'm determined to finish it, even though it gives me this aftertaste, like I just tasted gasoline, like literally. And what's good? I think I said hi to you, Gwen. How you doing tonight, Gwen? Dory says honestly, GH could use a major reset. Imagine what GH could be if they shift around their leads. I mean, you think it's a good idea if they shift around their leads now? You mean like keep shifting it around, or just shifting in a different place? Queen says I also agree. Sonny Caroline is not good. Yeah. I mean, no, I get that, Nikisha, but I don't know. Maybe just Death would just be a little more different. Death would be a little more different. And what's good, Janet? Thank you for joining. Yeah, I'm starting to feel better. Starting to feel better. Still blow my nose a lot, but other than that, I'm actually doing a lot better. So I'm very happy. I'm very happy about that. Also, sorry my review came out later today. My work day was a lot later than normal. So my work day was a little bit later than normal. So, but I want to sit there and at least make sure I put that out. And also, sorry that I came on late. I was finishing up watching um, B&B. Shauna says now Portia won it. Want to say Jordan wanted her. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's all be nice to Portia now. Let's all be nice to Portia. Gwen, you were missed. I wasn't really feeling that good yesterday anyway. Um, but it's always great to see you though. Here's the thing. I'm happy you're here now. Makai's in the chat. What's good, Makai? Thank you for joining. Mel says, I don't like the way Nick and Sally treat Adam like he does not matter. But Sally told Nick that Adam is going to be part of. Yeah, Mel, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't understand this whole Adam banging at her door at like God knows what hour in the morning. Smelling like he just been drinking and everything. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? What's good, Darby? Thank you for joining. Isaiah says Sonny wouldn't be as disliked if the show didn't make him seem like some good bad guy. At least Luke was always written to know he's a terrible person. Hmm. Yeah. One, I don't know if you actually answered me, but how have you been, Isaiah? That's number one. It's good to see you again. Number two, very curious, what characters do you like on this show? Sometimes I'm just very curious about that. Also, I gotta ask a question. Yesterday in the previews, Didn't this show Ulbrich slapping Liz? Like Ulbrich actually slapped Liz in the previews yesterday, right? Because it they didn't show it today. Or did anyone actually um did anyone not notice that? Lily, how you doing tonight, Lily? See, hitting the like button really does work. What's good, Ron? Thank you for joining. Yeah, Darby, exactly. Came over her house late at night, drinking like there was no tomorrow. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? But yes, we got a new person up. We got another new person in the chat. Lily is in the chat. What's good, Ron? What's good, Kenya? Kaiwan. What's good, Kaiwan? Freddie's in the chat. What's good, Freddie? Lily, it is always good to sit there and see a new face. So thank you for joining. Sorry, I'm sniffing on my nose, but it's just, you know. Now, Isaiah says I've been good. As for characters I like, I enjoy Laura, Bobby, Scotty, Lucy, Monica, Liz, Nicholas, Trina, Taggart, all the old school Qs and Castlevines. Well, Lily, I'm glad you're able to join tonight. So thank you. Yeah, no, it's always good to see you. It's always good to sit there and see you in the chat, Isaiah. Jessica's in the chat. What's good, Jessica? Why was Sasha in this episode? That's hilarious. Yeah, Kyrie's Lily. What shows? What soap operas do you watch? But yeah, Shauna says yes, I did. Maybe you're talking to somebody else. Yes, welcome, Lily. Thank you. GH. Okay, GH is definitely probably the most popular stuff that we. Oh wow. Okay, you've been watching it for a hot minute, Lily. That's okay. It's always nice to actually have people in the chat that have been watching these shows longer than me because there's times I'm just like old school. Used to watch AMC. Okay. You know, it's funny. I was thinking about all my. I was thinking about Susan Lucci when I met her. I met her, and that was the first show I watched, which was More Like Love. Um, I met Susan Lucci like years ago at a bookstore, and it was just the weirdest thing. Like she came in just walking in normal, just like, hey, I'm here to buy a book or whatever. She's asking me questions. I'm just like talking to Susan Lucci or Erica Kane. Like Erica Kane is talking to me. She's asking me to find stuff, and I'm just like, it's Erica Kane. Marsha. What's good, Marsha? Yeah, no, she is. She's actually really nice. Um, she's actually just really sweet. Um, she's good people. She's good people. For a hot minute, I felt like I was talking to Erica Kane. Now I'm gonna be honest. Marsha just came from yoga. You know who else does yoga? DC. DC Soap Sanctuary. It was good, Jonathan. Thank you for joining tonight. Harry says I was promoting your live streams on the Young and the Restless video comment section. Hopefully, Kyrie's. Kyrie's, you're amazing. I really, I cannot sit there and say how much I appreciate you being here. Just being a subscriber. Everyone says, are they going to kill? I have no idea who that is. Mel says, I did not like the way Lee Shen Sloan was so smug to Rave. They won't drop the jar. They wanted. I'm not gonna lie, Mel. When I saw Lee and Gabby walk in Wendy's place with Trip, I feel like it could be a comedy. I feel like it could be a comedy at that point. Gloria's in the chat. Was good, Gloria. I feel like it could be I feel like it could be a sitcom. Yeah, Dolly, she's really cool. Are you talking about that so cool or what Kai went or I mean what Kyrie's did? You know, Kyrie's is that's my guy right there. China says Nick is so angry and he big mad he can't pretend Adam's invisible. I just Sean, I don't understand that and help me understand this. Adam comes banging on this chick's door at like who knows what time at night, and yet people are still let's get Becky D, and yet people are still um talking about Nick. When Adam is sitting there banging on this chick's door, knowing that she's pregnant at night to sit there, oh, I got to sit there and tell you something. And you can't wait until the morning to do that? Like, really, bro? Mel says, I don't like Devon and Abby together and them sleeping together. I was sick. Well, Mel, apparently all that good stuff helped mended some fences. He wound up calling back Tucker, so the commodities to beat his wife one day. Okay, I'm so confused. Kylan, you talk about Sonny, but then you're talking about Young and the Restless, so I'm generally confused. Billy says I was a little disappointed Lee and Gabby moved and with Winnie and I was hoping we would get a new set. Yeah, I didn't think that was gonna happen. I didn't think that was gonna happen. Like I said, I love this. If this is going to be the new sitcom, I'm loving it. Darby says, "Oh, what's good?" Yes, I'm. How do you, Darby? I don't know. It's something about the four of them just being under one roof just seems funny. Oh, okay, you dolly. Okay, yeah, no. She's pretty cool. She's pretty cool. She came here a couple of times, but the thing, Dolly, it's just so weird. Seeing her just walking in, being super casual, just being like, "Hey, I'm just here looking for a book," and I'm just like, first of all, you're not worried about any crazy fans or anything like that, just swarming you or anything. I mean, she's a daytime legend. Love her or hate her. Thomas, what's good, Solomon? I need to catch up on the soaps. Johnson Little Prince. Jonathan, I'm not gonna lie. It was. I had a totally different take on that. I was just like, bro, what are you doing? How are you using Jensen Ackles and you're just like, oh, we're gonna use Greg Vaughn and Jensen Ackles to sit there and talk about their love story? Like, what are you doing? Oh, okay, Darby. Okay, yeah. It was very off putting. You know, I, in all reality, like I did the video yesterday, and I may wind up doing a separate YouTube video for members about that. But they've been together for 25 years, and y'all still can't make that work. Um, oh yeah, Darby. Yeah, I was just like, bro, why you sit there stalking this chick? You keep sitting there coming by her every 5 to 10 seconds, like. But yeah, people are sitting there coming at Nick like he's the bad guy. You know, I don't get that. Joshua says Maurice Bernard was born on the same year GH began. What do you mean by that, Jonathan? Cohen says who is comparing it to Victor Newman first being okay. Atara's in the chat. What's good, Atara? Jolie says it's weird how some celebrities are super casual and live around ATL, and this surprises how you see folks just chilling at times. Yeah. Um, like I said, when I talked to Nathaniel Gray, he's very chill. He is a very chill, laid back guy. You know, he's very chill. laid back, and just down to earth. So yeah, Shauna says, "I hope Divine by Tucker's company." Monique is in the chat. What's Monique? What's good, Monique? Monique says, "I agree with others on the chat that the old Sonny is missing because if this was the old Sonny, Sonny would have dealt with Nina the same way he." Yeah, you're right. Now Darby says Nick is a jerk, but he's not all evil. Justice says Cheese premiered on 1963 and Maurice Bernard was. Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. Kyrie says he is the bad guy. Nick has Adam's son, baby mama, and Nick's daughter has Adam's kidney. Nick wants to take everything from them. Yeah, but I mean, you gotta sit there and look at it this way, though. You gotta sit there and look at it this way, though. Kyrie's. How many times has Nick? I mean, how many times has Adam, bumped into and what's good, Ron? Yeah, I have no idea. To be fair, Ron, I haven't actually went on the channel in a hot minute. I mean, not to sit there and really go do the whole back and forth thing. And what's good, Cheyenne? I don't know about the stuff that Nick has done, you know. So I know a lot of people are. Oh, what's good, Jason? What's good, bro? Um, when it comes towards Nick and Adam, I don't know who is more wrong or more evil or more bad or whatever. I'm just coming from the perspective of me just watching it for the first time. So just keep that in mind. Oh wow, that's crazy. That's crazy, Dolly. And Jason is in the chat. What's good, Jason? See, hitting the like button really does help. It really does. I think I should probably have give it a little bit longer. When G started. Oh, okay. Okay. Now I understand what you're saying, Jonathan. We always get new people in. We always get new people in. And the like button really does help. And I did not do my first poll, so I am gonna do it. Cohen says Sabrina theme is coming back on Sunday. Oh, Sabrina is coming back on Sunday on YouTube. Would you have an interview? Sabrina Faith. Is that who you're talking about, Kaiwen? She's coming back. Okay. Yeah. Now Darby says Sunny has been on the show a long time, but how many women has had relationships on the show? Oh wow. Okay, Jason. Thank you. Thank you for following. That is wow. Thank you. I I I'm speechless. Thank you. Becky D is in chat. Becky D says, I think Victoria is going to chew Nate up and leave him wishing he never got involved. Yeah, let's everyone say what's up to Jason. Jason says, when you were usually talking about General Hospital. Well, thank you, Jason. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jason. That really makes me so special. Thank you. It's been so crazy because I've been doing this for like 2.5 something years. And it's just been a crazy and amazing ride. So thank you, Jason, and thank you everyone for being a part of that. Johnson says Sonny has been with at least 8 women. I feel like he's been with more, but I think 8 is about right. Someone says is it Jason Morgan? Okay, now I have no idea. Oh, now Josh said, oh yeah, because Nina, I really have to sit there and take a pen and a pad to sit there and write that down. Freddie says, Nicholas, not on the other side of that door. It got to be empty. Hmm, very interesting. Well, I'm looking forward to tomorrow to find out. But Jason, thank you for sticking with the channel. I appreciate that. I have so much fun doing it. So it's amazing to actually have people like you that's been on this journey. It is amazing. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Blackmon. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for saying that. I always sit there and say it's everyone here that makes this channel what it is, as far as the fun that I'm having and stuff. So I really couldn't do it without anyone here, without everyone here. I think I'm actually have to. It's like part of me wants to throw out why not. The other part of me is like, I don't feel like I don't. I don't like wasting alcohol, but I'm like, this is. Ugh. Yeah, no, thank you, Jason. Thank you. Well, thank you, Jason. Thank you for coming through. You know, no, Shine. I think I want to keep my hat on, but thank you though. Banners pump below deck. That's on. Yeah. I know that's on Peacock. It's actually really interesting. Um, and what I want to sit there and maybe think about doing a review on is those 90-day fiance shows. I was thinking about doing that, but I want to sit there and ask a question first though. Now Dolly says, would you replace Sonny with on GH? Oh, who would you replace Sonny on GH? Who would make you who would you make the new lead of the show? Oof. That's a really good question. That's a tough question. I mean, as far as Sonny being like what I'm saying, like he's been like that leading guy for so long. Um, I would have to think about that. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, no, I was thinking about watching the show. I exactly, Darby. That's a really hard question. Um, it's a good question, but it's something I would actually have to take time to think about. Um, no, not really, Ron. Not really. Yeah, I looked at those shows and they seem pretty interesting, but I'm gonna put up my first poll tonight about it's funny, Atara, because I was actually thinking about that. I was actually thinking about Michael because I don't think he's a bad character. I actually do like his character. I think some of the things he's doing is stupid, but um, or at least this revenge plot. But I do like Michael as a character. Willow, on the other hand, is I can see that too, Nikisha. So the first poll question of the night, which it took me a half an hour to sit there and think about, but whatever. I'm gonna leave that up for like we'll sit there and say 5 minutes. Exactly, Jessica. That's what I was like. I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. That would be interesting. Monique says if Michael grew a backbone with Carly, maybe I can. That's funny. Tara says, LOL, with how bad they wrote Nicholas in the recent months, I don't know if he could be lead. Atara, that's a good question because Nikisha was like, if they bring Tyler back, and I'm like, but if Tyler's going to be written the same way that Marcus was, then I don't see how that would work or how people would sit there and root for him. Now Jessica says, I don't know why Sonny doesn't have a successor. Good question. I mean, he didn't want his Jason was probably supposed to be his successor, to be honest. Denise says Joss is repeating her mother's past, almost to a T. Now Freddie says Josh might get mad at first with Dex working for Michael, but eventually I think he. Yeah, I was sitting there thinking the same thing though too. Darby says there's no one currently on the show who can honestly take Sonny's place. Sonny is not just a criminal; he's a father, friend, sometimes the only real law in that town. That's very true, Darby. That's very true. Because at the end of the day, as much as people don't like Sonny, Cyrus and everything like that will be a lot worse. Okay, so Nikisha says Tyler Christopher is a better actor, but you're still writing the same. Like you still have that flaw of they're gonna write for him the same. So they're gonna write. You know what I'm saying? Like people were upset with the way that Nicholas was being written before. So Tyler is not going to change that. All the mistakes that Nicholas was making in the past, they're going to write Tyler the same way. Justin says Sonny has been with Lily, Carly, Brenda, Amelia, Josephine, Sam, Kay Connie, Claire, Olivia, Claudia, and the. Okay. Yeah, let me know in the voting was General Hospital good because I'm going to ask just a completely other random question. Um, that's true. That's true, and again that does go back to Tyler's that does go back to Tyler's acting. Um, Now, personally, for me, I'm Tyler Marcus, whatever. Um, I know a lot of people like Tyler more than they liked Marcus. Oh, Darby, you know I had to sit there and do the noodles. You know I had to sit there and do the noodles, Darby. Come on now. Tara says right, the acting can save crappy storylines. All right. So I'm just gonna sit there and ask this just out front. Hmm. Okay. Now I actually forgot the question I was gonna sit there and ask. Now I'm just gonna sit there and now I forgot the question I was gonna sit there and ask. All right, we got 37 people. So I mean well it's my whole thing. Like I mean I wish in some sort of ways I could sit there and find out if people are don't watch in a hospital or whatever. Because I do got another burning question I wanted to sit there and ask. Oh, and that's what it was. Why is this taking forever? Very interesting that you say that, Jonathan. Very interesting that you say that. Yep. If I was in trouble, Mel says, I'm excited for Sarah to be pregnant by Xander and Gwen is going to be jealous. Uh, I don't know about those two. Well, to be specific, I don't know about Sarah. I thought my love would change you. Are you serious? Freddie Johnson has been getting on my nerves for a hot minute. Jonathan, it's really, I mean, Freddie, yeah, but Jonathan, they literally did not seem like they were that worried. They did not seem like they were that worried that they were opening that door. They didn't seem the least worried at all. Big Nate's in the chat. Was good, Nate? I'm doing good. How you doing tonight, Nate? Still got the sniffles, but other than that, I'm doing better. Yeah, and it was just so funny, Josh, when I was sitting there watching, I was just like, also, they want to sit there and talk about moving his body, but yet they sit there and they talk for 20 minutes about rehashing old stuff. I'm like, y'all act like y'all not worried that at any point you know that Liz is going to the cops. Let's move this body. No, 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 no. Let's sit there and talk about this for a good 15 to 20 minutes. Hmm. Monique, you're not the only person that actually feels that way. And what's good, Double C? It's been a minute. How have you been? How have you been? I miss seeing you in the chat. Sorry, says LLBB was a repetitive conversation again. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Atari, Taylor just annoyed the hell out of me today. Taylor annoyed me. I don't understand where these super feelings from Deacon came from with Sheila. Every day it seemed like it was literally a pain to have this woman, living there. And now he's all like, "Oh, I need you to sit there and be with me during my grand opening. I couldn't make this dream without you." What are you talking about? Every day you were literally sitting there sweating bullets. Now you're sitting there acting like you were my inspiration. Okay. Yeah, Jessica, I just I did not understand that. You got a dead body, you're just like, nah, let's just sit there and chit chat for a little bit. And then Dante comes to the door and there's all like, oh yeah, the cops are here. Why do y'all not seem more worried? I don't. On top of that, you gotta sit there and get this man out the hospital where he just is still recovering from an injury, but you want him to sit there and move a body. And for a guy who literally had a hook to his stomach, he seemed like he's walking around just fine. Interesting, interesting, Jessica. Interesting. Barbie said he was nice, kind, and she she wanted by cops. Yeah. Oh yeah, no, Shauna, it's D&B is my favorite soap comedy. Now Johnson says the CW aired golf this past weekend and didn't perform well. Jonathan, when I saw that commercial, I was just like, you must just put CW to pasture at this point. Just take it out to the back and just put two in the back of his head because they done. They done. When you want to sit there and start promoting golf, like, and they were, I don't know if you saw that commercial, but they seemed like they were super excited. I was like, yo, I mean, people complained and They made fun of the CW for the campy shows, but the campy shows were fun to watch. What the hell is not there thinking they want to watch golf on the CW? Like, what? One says they could have just put Nicholas in the bed saying he was drunk, foul. They could have did so much, Monique. They could have been like, hey, it was Ryan. Ryan was boy's Ryan. He just killed my husband. Apparently, I didn't even know that. WC's have been good. I had to pay that high. Oh, okay. Yeah, I get it. I get it, Double C. It's good seeing you again. It's always good to see you again in chat. So that's it. Two wrongs don't make it right. With Brady's. Yeah, I somewhat feel bad for Steffi. He's just been kidnapped and knocked around and just like Shauna says, why is everyone focused on Austin being at Windermere? Because it just didn't seem like it really made a lot of sense. Yeah, Jonathan, I was just like, yo, just take two shots in the back, and just take the CW out back, like for real. Oh, Double C, he did not forget that. He did not forget that chowder though. He didn't forget that suit. My dude literally came right back to get that suit and then ran back out. All right. Um, I feel like that's enough, folks. I'm gonna leave up this one a little bit longer though. Very interesting. Nikisha, you remember what the actor said? You remember what Nathaniel Gray said about Ava? Maybe Atara, but they're gonna sit there and drag that out. They're gonna sit there and drag that out. Exactly, Dolly. I watched. I was laughing so hard. I was like, you know what? It's moments like that's why I appreciate Days of Our Lives. Like dead serious. Only a mad scientist is like, oh, I gotta get out of here. That child looks mad good. Let me go back and get that. Laura said maybe their consciences are. Oh, that's hilarious, Laura. Laura B. That you know what? That's a really good. Thank you, Jonathan. I'm gonna put that one next, but I do want to put up another one. Okay, good, Nikisha. Okay. Oh, I hate this phone. I hate this phone. I'm not ignoring anyone. Um, yeah, Nate, I'm finding it very difficult to sit there and be like, what is Sonny's purpose anymore? Yeah, Dolly, I'm not gonna lie. When they do good comedy, it works. Okay, when they do good comedy, it works. One of the many things I appreciate about Days of Our Lives. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Becky Ding. I am I'm really sorry to hear that. Not just because I do this and this is kind of like I need the internet for that, but just in general, it sucks. Monique says I can see the previews for Tagger, Trina, Tagger, Portia seeing the moment of the truth will come, the lies of Port Charles. Trina saying this is all a mess while talking to Spencer. I'm very curious about that. I mean, I don't know how many people actually watch 90 Day Fiance. And don't get me wrong, I'm still going to be doing my normal soap opera reviews. Thank you, Dolly. Thank you. Yeah, Double C. I have no idea what the hell they're doing. I mean, I'm already. Trust me, Double C. I'm already upset with the CW in general, but I'm just like, yep, that's true, Jonathan. Next time. I'm just like, golf? Really? You literally canceled 13 shows to put on golf. Like seriously, golf? That's okay. Um, I love that answer, CW. I love that answer. Antonio says I would give 90 days a chance, and if it would be something that I can get into. Dolly says next star wants CW to be CBS. Oof. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, Dolly, because you know how CBS is. Um, RB says, well, something has to be up with Mason, who is following Ava, and then he's the culprit. Yeah, and yet somehow, Austin got there first. A couple of reasons why I wanted to do 90 Day Fiance is that it did seem like an interesting show. And in some ways, it does seem kind of like a soap opera. I mean, like it's a reality soap opera, but it's still a, a soap opera ish. I mean, Jonathan, it's one of those weird things where it's like, I get it. They have to have some sort of sports on regular TV because not everyone apparently has cable, but it's the type of, it's just not the CW that I knew and loved. At least it's actually trying to shift the demos of. Yep, I know. Now it's funny that you say that, Dolly and Jonathan. I hate sniffling. You ever heard of a guy called Very True CW? You ever heard of a guy called Eric Reload? 'Cause that's why I got a lot of my information from. Granted, I did do some actual research on it, but yeah, because he talks a lot about the DC stuff and comic book related stuff. Um, and that's how I found out that they were shifting into like older people, and I'm like, what? But yeah, back to the whole 90 Day Fiance thing. I actually knew a guy. I actually knew someone that used to be on the show. Okay, so Jonathan, okay. See, this is why I actually love having you on in the chat. Um, I think his name was Jason something. Ugh. Have a good night, Denise. Thank you for joining. And sorry that I kept constantly blowing my nose. Earlier, I feel like getting up. Well, Shauna, apparently Abby knows when to not talk because that was she was sitting there doing with Devon. He gave Tucker a new. He gave him another chance. He gave him another chance. So I'm like, Shauna, I don't know what she was doing up in that bedroom, but okay, Johnson. So okay, all right, you know what's up. You know what's up. Double C says UPN was the hit. What do you mean by that? UPS was the hit. I mean, it was a hit, right? Yeah, Johnson. Eric Reload and Pagey. Oh my god, I like Eric Reload more. But to be fair, I haven't really watched a lot of Pagey stuff. Although UPS has some great shows. I guess it's hard for me to sit there and think of some of the shows that they had because I wasn't a huge TV person back then. Double C says I like him. Oh, yep. Okay, all right, Double C. So you know what's up. Okay, you know what's up. Glad you're in here. That's always fun to do. Now Darby says Abby mom told her to convince Devon to listen to Tucker. Yeah, exactly, Darby. And she definitely convinced him. You're right about that. Yeah, I used to actually know a guy. I think his name was Jason something, and he passed away. Let's see, who was the guy? 'Cause I can't remember his last name, but I do remember actually having a lot of talks with him. Jason Hitch. That was his name. Jason Hitch. Yeah, Jonathan. Yep, they had Supernatural. They had Smallville. You know, Shauna says Elena should not have come back. Yeah, I mean, she came back during the wrong time. Yeah, you know, it's you know, Monique. I wish I actually did watch Dawson's Creek. I really do. I really do wish I watched Dawson's Creek. But I was more of a Gossip Girl and One Tree Hill fan. And what's good, DC? Monique, I'm so glad you're in the chat. Dolly says, you know, the room is his universe. They he eventually buying HBO Max. What? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. Okay. Can you know? I never really got into I never got into Felicity, but I actually did like the actress stuff. Darby says, "What excuse does Nate need?" Okay. DC's in the chat. DC said, "I mean, Sonny Corinthos is what Steve Hardy and Edward once were for the show. Soaps need Printos and material figures. I may need to do a review this weekend because I mentioned to talk about this. Yes. Also, DC, did you get my text? You know, it's funny. It's funny. Johnson, my friend used to love well, he used to love Buffy, but he used to also love Angel now. Like Angel was his show. I probably would have loved it back in the day. I feel like there's a time I definitely missed out on. Yeah, double C. I was just meant to say my friend used to love um used to love Angel. Billy says I love the OG Gossip Girl and One Tree Hill. Dawson was my jam. For the first few seasons. See, Dolly, this is why we get along. I feel like this is another reason why we all kind of get along. Um, Monique says if I'm thinking like a guy and Nate. Yeah, I uh that is hilarious, Monique. I love it. DC says, "Oh snap! I did get your text. My bad. I forgot to respond, but of course, if time allows, yeah." DC. DC. I gotta sit there and ask you that like every week. I gotta ask you that every week. I can see. Jonathan. It's been so long since I watched it in the beginning. Um, and like the characters definitely did age. I forgot. It's funny. Jonathan. I forgot what Stefan looked like when he was young. Well, CW apparently she just calls her her daughter. She doesn't put a name on it. Yep, same Cheyenne, same. Darby says Nate is a grown single man with a playboy reputation, so if Lena doesn't like him cheating on her, then she shouldn't have gotten him that way. I forgot. Yeah, I briefly remember some of the stories, like how they got together. Billy says I watched the Gossip Girl reboot, but it was already been canceled. It was okay, but they didn't push best characters enough. Dolly, it was so crazy when I watched the original Gossip Girl. And even some of that stuff didn't really make a lot of sense. Like, why is Chuck Bass there riding the public bus? Chuck and Nate are literally on like a regular public bus. And I'm just like, in what universe do two rich people like that actually like what? Now I love the Wonder Years. Which one? The old school one or the reboot? Now which one? Double sees that I missed the networks all target young viewers. They brought in good shows. Yeah, Double C, like the CW. I don't know what the hell they're doing with it now, but yeah, I grew up watching the One Years. That was my show back in the day. All right, so let's see how many people actually voted. So if I started reviewing 90 days, we're gonna say what you watch. Um, well, 67% said no, so I guess I would just have to sit there and add to an audience of that. But 33% people actually said yes. All right, I'm gonna sit there and have what's left of this. Funny, Monique. I used to actually watch that with my ex girlfriend, and I couldn't watch that. It's weird because I couldn't watch that with anyone else. Like I couldn't watch it by myself. I only enjoyed it when I watched it with her. Johnson says Fox used to cater to a younger audience, and they shifted, and then that audience moved to the WB. Okay, now the old school one. Okay, thank you, Janet. Thank you. Yes, I always sit there and try to get DC up in the to do the live streams because it's always fun to do. Now I do have, and I talked about with the members and stuff like that. I do have a little project that I'm trying to get done, and hopefully it's a surprise, and hopefully that everything will come to fruition when everything is said and done. Nikisha, I still watch Psych. The pick of Gus is my icon for Peacock. Oh, nice. I keep forgetting, Nikisha and everyone, that Um, he's also on A Million Little Things. The same guy that did Psych. Very, very. Dee Dee's in the chat. Was good, Dee Dee? Oh wow. Okay. You know, it's funny in the case. I actually have a best friend that I always call him Gary. Like I always sit there and say he's like the Gary of the group. He has no idea what I'm talking about, but he refuses to watch the show to find out. Now, Dolly says the guy who played Gus on. Yes, yes, I do remember saying that. Is that show actually still on? Like the new One Year show? Is that still a thing, or did that show get canceled? Dolly says I started watching the show called The Company You Keep. It seems pretty good to me. Something Rodriguez is on that show, right, Atara? I just remember her last name is Rodriguez. Double C says, please don't reboot Married with Children or Different World. You know, Double C, they couldn't do Married Children. They, there's a couple of shows that they definitely can't redo. They can't do Married with Children, and they can't do Martin. They just can't. Thank you, Dee Dee. Thank you. Yeah, no, I just gotta I gotta try to get as much sleep as I can. Because as long as I'm able to sleep and like drink fluids and stuff like that, I usually get over stuff somewhat good. Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, that's a different one. Never mind. You know, I still actually have to. You know, I'm sorry. I still actually have to watch the last season of This Is Us. I still have to watch the last season yet. Oh, okay, Dolly. Okay, I was wondering about that. I mean, okay, John. I was wondering about that. You know, because John, I thought it got canceled at one point. At least it's out. They don't have to reboot A Different World. The show Growness is so desperate to try to beat it. Wow, that makes me feel really old because I remember watching that show. Nikki said I watched it, but I haven't caught up yet. I got tired of crying. Yeah, no, I can see that. I can well, yeah, no, I can see that, Nikisha. They are very heavily emotional kind of shows. So yeah, I know I get it. Thea says yes, there are some shows that should really be off limits. It's not even that. It's not even that. It's more of the fact that you can't say that stuff. Like married children, there's so many things that you can't say and do now that married with children used to do back then. It is not even funny. You know that show actually got canceled twice. Chris is in the chat. Chris says I want to check out the new Night Court. I used to be a fan of the old one, so new one looks okay, but you know it's hard. It's yeah, I only because I don't know about Grown-ups. I do remember A Different World. Oh man, I love Bones. Now Monique said, didn't the CW had a show called Mixtures? No. It's on another channel, but it's not the CW though. And they did, and the show got canceled. No, I always actually want to watch that show. I always want to watch that show, Fringe. And Dolly says New Night Court is cheesy fun. Dee says I recorded every episode of Different World on VHS. Oh, good old VHS. I'm not gonna lie. Whenever I do that, it looks like I'm doing something else that I'm not doing. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I'm not doing that. I'm actually blowing my nose. Um, you know, and this is gonna sound really bad, and I'm probably gonna get canceled for this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. For a hot minute, Dolly and anyone that watches or that watched Mama's Family, I thought the person that played Mama was a man. Like I'm being dead serious. I thought the person that played Mama and Mama's Family was actually a man. I didn't realize that it is a woman, right? Like I'm not trying to be a dick. I really want to like ask that question. Okay, Nikki. I actually watch a lot of horror movies that help me go to sleep because I'm just weird like that. Darby says it wasn't that the show was a republic. Jessica says, "What show is that? Are you talking to me or somebody else in the chat?" Shauna says they're doing the color purple. Seriously? Wow. Okay. No, seriously. I thought the person that played Mama in Mama's Family was a man. Now Kenya says Vicky Albert. She says, "Oh, funny as how get out." No, I'm being. Yeah, I didn't know. Oh, okay. All right, Dolly. Yeah, I was just like, yeah, Crystal. I'm not gonna lie. To be fair, I really should give it a chance before I just decide to not watch it because I remember watching the movie in the theaters. So I'm sitting there looking at this and just like, is this a joke, right? Yeah, CW, I did. Ooh, yeah, man, I'm not gonna get into that one. I am not gonna get into that one. No, Becky D, and everyone, I didn't know. Yeah, I don't know what to think about this new True Lives thing. I'm just like, oh, Didi, we were sitting there asking, is Sonny needed on the show? Is Sonny actually needed on General Hospital? Because I'm just like, his character was relevant back in the day when they used to actually have like people come in and it would be like a mob threat and stuff. But now, I don't really see it. And on top of that, Sonny has gotten sloppy. Like when you start to think about it, the whole thing with Dex and Josh and getting that guy in the alley was like, really, bro? You did this in public, and not even broad daylight, but you did this in public where anybody could have walked past. And of course, it just happened to be Josh. Like, what are you doing? Um, I don't understand that. Like, how could you be this sloppy? You know? So yeah, I understand when people are talking about they're talking about Sonny and he's not the same person he used to be. Yeah, he never sat there and start beating up people where anybody could just walk back and forth. Like, now W says yes, despite me not liking him, the show needs Sonny. Chris, I used to watch Alf back in the day. And The Facts of Life. I never saw a Silver Spoon though. Kenya says it would shake things up in a great way if Morgan came back. No, I mean, I do agree. They definitely. I mean, it's one of those days where it's like I feel like they already have too many characters anyway. But I'm like, you know what? Screw it. If it saves the, well, let's be honest, it wouldn't actually save the show, but it'll be interesting though. Yeah, Dolly says, to be fair, Dolly, I didn't even I didn't watch AMC. Or says that he's not even following up with Dex like he said he would. Yeah, I don't get the whole beating up that guy Jesse or his other guy in broad daylight. I'm doing better, Valerie. Now I'm just dealing with a stuffy nose, but I don't actually have a sore throat, so I consider that winning. But I'm doing better now. How have you been, Valerie? Thank you for asking, by the way. I'm just glad that the sore throat is going. Also, just to like, if anyone drinks wine, don't get this. It's terrible. It is absolutely 100% terrible. I would not recommend it to anyone, and I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Oh, Jason, it's wine. It is I don't know what it is, but it's not. It doesn't taste good. It doesn't taste good at all. Yeah, and it tastes I would imagine if it tastes like gasoline. Not that I ever actually tasted gasoline, but I smelled it before, and that's what it tastes like. But I'm determined to finish it because I don't like wasting stuff. Norby says, "Where did you get Avery is Morgan's?" Yeah, I don't know who said that. Darby says Sonny needs a major bad guy to step up soon. Maybe Miss Wood. Hmm. I feel like Miss Wood has been wasted lately. But to be fair, there's yeah, Jason. No, it's terrible. Yeah, but I have no idea. I just looked at it and I was like, cool. I don't actually have to because I don't have a good wine opener, and I have to sit there and look for one. Um, this one was the one where you just twist the top. Jason says, just chuck finish that thing. Yeah. Well, I mean, I hmm. Becky D says, oh, it does. Also, I didn't, I didn't know that Becky D. But yeah, no, Jason. Yeah, I don't know about chugging that thing. I don't know about chugging that thing. It's hard to even sit there and even. But wine also helps me go to sleep. It does. It kind of actually helps me go to sleep a little bit. Jonathan, I would be for that. because Alcazar was one of my favorite. He was among my favorite characters. He was among my favorite characters. Krista says Miss Wu actress usually goes to her country 3 times every year. She might be. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I guess that makes sense. That makes sense. Kenya says my very slow. Have a good night, Kenya. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Um, Mel, I'm actually going to watch it this weekend. I'm going to watch it this weekend. Um, yeah, I'm going to watch it this weekend because there's so many movies I want to sit there and watch, and it's just time just escapes me. I barely had enough time to sit there and watch all four soap operas today. So, hmm. Daisy Flowers in the chat. Daisy Flower, what's good, Daisy Flower? Daisy Flower says hi. I saw your review, and the only one to blame for Britt's death is Heather. If you blame Josh, then you had to blame Spencer for Esme coming to Port Charles. Hmm, maybe, maybe. Kind of have a point, but you know what? Well, no, 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 no. I had a bit of a foggy brain for a minute. I was like, no, 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 no. Esme has had there and Ryan's daughter. Yeah, but Ryan's plan was to get Ryan taught Heather. I mean, Ryan taught Esme. Like Ryan targeted Spencer. So how are we going to sit there blame Spencer for something that Ryan was not there target? Like Ryan sent Esme to seduce Spencer so they can go to Port Charles. Have a good night, Dolly. Thank you for joining. That's very true, Jessica. She feels so bad. Spencer allows Spencer to be manipulated. Well, I wouldn't sit there and say that, Daisy Flower. I would sit there and say Spencer was just being a screw it. No, I'm not gonna sit there and say it. A teenager. Okay. Somewhat of a teenager. But Daisy Flower, let's sit there and think about this. There's a hook killer on a loose, right? Thank you, Dolly. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being a member. And thank you for being in the chat. Thank you. But let's think about this for a minute though. Josh noticed there's a serial killer out on the loose. She decides to let her bodyguard go, knowing that Trina is being, the person that's targeting all Trina's friends. And you decide to take the one person that can sit there and protect you and tell them, oh, because you don't like Sonny, oh, you can leave me alone. Um, I'm good. So Britt came in there to sit there and save her. So no. We're not gonna sit there and blame Spencer. As much as I don't like Spencer, we're not gonna blame Spencer. We're gonna we're gonna blame Josh. Tori said Josh was targeted multiple times too. Exactly. And you would honestly sit there and think that she would sit there and put two and two together and be like, maybe I shouldn't be out here by myself. You know? But Daisy Flower says you can't blame Josh. Why can't I? I don't understand. I felt like I made a compelling argument. Thank you, Jonathan. I'm like, I felt like I made a compelling argument. Harry says, I would love to watch Dr. O ripping the Jocelyn. Brit made her own choice. Yeah, but here's the thing though. Brit wouldn't have had to make. I feel like I need a stronger drink for this conversation. Um, Brit wouldn't actually had to make that. Oh, what's good, Jennifer P? Brit would actually had to make that choice if Jocelyn didn't ditch her bodyguard. So we're still back to the same. We're still back to the same thing. It's very true, Jason and Valerie. I feel like I do need a stronger drink for that. But uh, I gotta think of what. Well, I gotta think about what wine I actually do want to get that's actually going to be good. Um, Mel says this war over Thomas and Stuffy. This war is not over with Thomas and Stuffy. Yeah, I don't understand what Taylor was trying to do, trying to make peacemaker and everything, peacekeeper or whatever. She just annoyed the hell out of me. Jennifer P said Joss was supposed to have a bodyguard. If she did, Britt possibly still be alive. Yes, yes, exactly. I don't understand. Like, where's the disconnection here? Jessica says, "Nah, Britt was killed due to her own actions." Um, Jessica, how was she killed? Jessica says Britt would be alive if she didn't intervene. Yeah, no, I mean it makes sense. I mean, if there's a dangerous serial killer on the loose, and I'm with my friends, and I'm like, hey, you know what? Listen, I'm good. I'm good to go into the subways. I don't need your help. Exactly, Monique. I don't really understand the disconnect. I don't. Oh yeah, well that's true also, Nikisha. Darby said had to forgive Josh for that. Well, you're a better person than me. I don't want to sit there and say I hold grudges because I'm a Leo. I just feel like I hold grudges because I hold grudges. But Daisy Flaw says she didn't have to help. Yeah, no, I mean she didn't, and maybe she just bleh, maybe she should have just let her die, and then we wouldn't actually be having this conversation. That could just happen too. Heather could have just killed Josh, and then we wouldn't even be having this debate. Problem solved. Either way, I would probably be happy. Jessica says, if I'm being attacked and you jump in to save me and you get hurt, is it my fault or yours? Well, it depends on the setup, Jessica. If we were just, I don't know, at a bus station or wherever, train station, and I come in and I decide to jump into a situation, I mean, what it sounds like, and maybe this wine is a little bit too strong. What it sounds like is that we want to sit there and blame Brit for actually saving Jocelyn's ass when Jocelyn shouldn't have let her bodyguard go. Dave Flower says, then you have to blame the bodyguard since he left. So let me get this straight. We're blaming the bodyguard now. We're blaming the bodyguard that was assigned to Jocelyn. We're blaming Britt. We're blaming Britt for actually saving Jocelyn's tail. Screw it, we're adults at this point. But blaming for saving Jocelyn's ass. So we're blaming all these other factors, but not the person who decided it was a good idea to let the one person that could protect her go when she really needed him. Now I give Jocelyn props because she was fighting Heather with a broken heel. So I give her props for that. Okay. Well, yeah. Jason says no, it's no one's fault. Oh no, it's someone's fault. It's Jocelyn's fault. I don't understand. I don't understand the disconnect. I don't. Oh, Teaspoon's in the chat. What's good, Teaspoon? Shonda says Albert was Ava the reason Ryan killed Kiki because she was hateful and venting. No, I don't really understand. Hey, no, finish on. I feel like that's kind of two different scenarios. I don't really understand. Like Monique says, if you know there's a maniac running around, I wouldn't be walking. I don't even feel like I need to finish that sentence, Monique, because I feel like I've been saying it. It's not even important anymore. Now, Nikki said, I blame Esme because I don't like her. Jessica says, two things can be true. Yes, she should have had her bodyguard, but it wasn't Josh's fault. Jessica, I can sort of understand where you're coming from. Just to play a little bit of devil's advocate. At the end of the day, Heather chose to take those lives. Okay, Heather chose to take those lives. Now, if I'm just walking around and I got expensive stuff on, and somebody decides to clock me upside the head, right? And what's good, Teaspoon? Thank you for joining. And somebody decides to clock me in my head and steal all my stuff. Was it a good idea for me to walk around with expensive stuff? No. But that doesn't give somebody the right to sit there and come and attack me. So to some extent, I understand where Jessica's coming from as far as what her analogy was. But at the end of the day, I'm still gonna put a lot of that smoke on Joss. That's just how I feel. Now you can agree, you can disagree with me, and I respectfully agree to disagree because one, I one, I refuse to sit there and get into like heated discussions over fictional characters, but two, eh, you know, that's just my opinion. That's what I believe. And one of the things I love about doing this is because I get to hear other people out that don't agree with me. That's fine. Um, Atara says, I'm going to blame the writing for the messiness. That makes sense. I'm with you, Atara. And the key says the problem is really just bad writing. We have a serial killer for months, but none of the characters actually act like their lives were in danger. Exactly. Like Cam. Cam is just there hanging out on the bridge by himself, and he gets startled, but he sees Drew. And I was like, bro, you realize there is a serial killer on the loose, right? So yes, you're exactly right, Nikisha. Now Mel said just because Victor ran into a snag on McCall ultimate telling Adam that does not mean he knows how to make a deal. No, I feel like Mel, in some ways, I feel like that's probably the show's downfall a little bit. When you start talking about the business stuff, it's just like like the McCall and his dad and Ashley buying it. It's like I care more about the personal drama than I do about the business aspect of that stuff. Now Darby says Albert then vent forever that Josh is a stupid forever. Well, what's it to say she's stupid forever? Okay, there's times I've given Josh her props, but you know me. Okay, as far as I'm concerned, no one is spared the ride. No one is spared the ride. I will come at my own favorite characters because no one is spared the ride. Now, Shauna says no, it's not because Ava thought Ryan was Kevin. She was salty about Kiki and Griffin. So when she said she thought about it, her daughter was gone. Ryan helped her out, and that has to do with Josh's situation. How Josh running around deciding that's a good idea to not be protected by anyone, her bodyguard or anything, and then somebody has to come and save her. I don't really. Okay. Damon was good, Damon. Nikki said Cam also gave Heather a knife. Yeah, oh my God, Nikisha, that was so stupid. Um, I did not understand that whatsoever. On top of that, Dante decided to get really close to her. Yeah, we can all blame the bad writing. We can all blame the bad writing. Damon says Esme needs to know that her half brother Franco was also a surrogate. That's very true. You know, it's Damon, you have a very good point. I mean, she's already um, about the fact that both of her parents are just nut jobs, but yeah. Um Tara says LOL Cam feeding Heather was funny. Monique says she needs to watch some horror movies from a black person perspective. We can help. You hear a strange noise, run like hell. Very true. Anna says one of the best things about us, that everyone can get their. Oh yeah, yes, 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 Anna. No one is spared the ride. No one. Trust me, I know that saying just sounds kind of annoying and cringe and everything, but I totally mean it. Now, Kyrie said Josh knew she was the target of a serial killer. Exactly. And yet she's just running around and deciding, hey, I don't need a bodyguard. I'm good. My point is, I'm making it nobody's fault but who did it. No, you know what, Sean? Exactly. And that's exactly what I was saying about Jessica. Two things can be right. Um, so, yes. No, okay. I got your point now. Thank you, Shauna. Thank you for explaining that to me. Nikisha, now, we all know Kiki died because she was with Michael. Yeah, exactly. That curse. That curse. But yeah, no, Shauna, I do get it. I do get it. Like I said, at the end of the day, I'm going to feel different than other people. I'm going to be harsher than other people. I'm going to be harsher than other reviewers. Um, that's just how it is. That's just how I am. Um, Monique says I'm watching my wife and kids while chatting. Hmm. I never watched that show. How was it? Jessica says, did Josh know she was the target? Everyone was convinced Trina was. Yeah, Jessica, they did say that the Hope Killer was targeting all the people from Trina, and she was actually in the room when that happened. I remember that specifically because Carly was on high alert that episode, and yet she still chose. And here's the thing. Here's the thing, Jessica. She didn't know that she was one of the targets because she was in the conversation. She was in the conversation when Jordan came in there and told her that. Let's just sit there and say that didn't happen. And she didn't know that Trino friends was being targeted. You honestly think it's a good idea to be walking around at night with no protection in general? Like, honestly, tell you the truth, here's the thing. No matter how you sit there and look at it, we're all going to have different opinions about it. I feel like a lot of it was Josh's fault. Yes, Heather chose to kill people, and we're not going to sit there and take that away and act like Heather didn't have a choice. But when you sit there and look at the circumstances and the way that they play out, you know, this just does go back to Josh. For me, it goes back to Josh. Now, for other people, it is what it is. Thank you, Janet. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know me. Not sugarcoating it. Just some people have said that I've been the Simon Cowell of soap opera reviews, and I'm okay with that. Like I said, no one spared the rod. So thank you for saying that, Janet. Now, Laura B says Sasha didn't steal the necklace. Oh, okay. Exactly, Monique. That Nikisha even, Nikisha said that curse. Michael has that curse. Get involved with Michael. Nice, Jessica. Nice. Well, I love sitting there debating with you. But at the end of the day, no matter who I'm sitting there debating with, it's all love. It's all love. Um, it's just yeah, Jonathan. I don't like this soft hand, this soft approach, this sob story. Like, I'm not feeling it. I'm not feeling it at all. I know some people like a good, you know, whatever roots or whatever they want to think called underdog story, but I'm like, uh, Jonathan, it's like the American Ninja Warrior. I used to watch the Japanese one all the time. So this one is just uh, not working for me, Jonathan. Not working for me. Now Kyrie says Willow's being such a witch. I don't know about that, but I understand that she doesn't want something to remind her of a person she doesn't like. Now, Monique says, I like the chat because we are not afraid to speak our minds. We can agree and disagree without it turning out. Exactly, Monique. I thank you for saying that. Um, it's here's the thing. If we all agreed on the same thing, it really wouldn't be that fun. I mean, yeah, we can agree on certain things, but for the most part, when we're sitting there talking about these soap operas, these characters, we're fans. We're gonna get a bit emotional about it. But I like to sit there and think that everyone in the chat is not at a point where it's like, and it's just, you know, yeah. But I didn't really watch that much of it, but like clips that I saw, I'm just like, I'm not feeling this new one. Justice says I completely agree. Yes, Jonathan, did you ever watch the original Ninja Warrior? Very curious about that. Shawty, my friend actually watches The Voice. She loves it. Jessica says I'm so tired of Willow's storyline. Either she lives or she dies. Oh, Jonathan, see, this is why I love that you're in the chat. G4, before people actually found out that who these people were. Yeah, before the internet really became prevalent. Um, Yeah, Atari says Willie needs time. Nina was so evil to her. Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, yo, I don't blame Willow. I really don't. Atari says because she didn't want a. Oh, you're right, Jonathan. Thank you. Thank you. You know, actually, I went on their YouTube page. They haven't posted anything in 4 months. The G4 TV thing. They haven't posted anything in 4 months on any of their stuff. I guess this is what happens when you find out who Adam Sessler is and that other chick that I can't remember. I think they call her Frost Karen. Jay Blue is in the chat. What's good, Jay Blue? This being stuffed up is seriously no fun. Tony D is in the chat. What's good, Tony D? Becky says, okay. Yes, thank you, Josh. I felt like I was missing the name, and I was like, I couldn't think of what it was though. The show that says when these shows looked over talent. Monique says, "Don't you know all that well? But this is like therapy. Me chatting with you guys, it's like therapy without sitting on the couch." Thank you, Monique. Thank you. You know, we always have a great time. We always have a great time. And it's everyone here that makes it so fun. What's good, Tony D? Yeah, Johnson says online. I saw Tashika Castle. I don't know what that is. Thank you, Tara. Thank you. I always like to sit there and say that I would like to think that I attract good energy or good people, even though we had some trolls and stuff like that in the past. Um, you know, Justin, I felt like I remember watching that show. Yeah, no, Jessica, I did. It wasn't even snowing that bad over here. It really wasn't. Um, it was more slush than anything else. So I was happy. What about you, Jessica? Tony D says, "Is anyone going to call BS and Curtis for being a hypocrite? Isn't he hiding a secret himself?" Like, yep. You know, Tony D, I can't wait until Portia finds that out. That's a very good point, Tony D. Have a good night, Atara. Thank you for joining. Oh, Nikisha, I wish I would have been doing YouTube back then. Well, I wish this version of me did YouTube back then, I would say. Darby says for Nina to get the relationship with Willow, she should go full no contact with her and then Lawa. Yeah, no, that would make sense, Darby. But we're talking about Willow here, so there's that. But yeah, Nakisha, and I wish my present self was doing reviews back then. Because my past self was my past self. I don't know what I would actually did. Not like I was a real a hole or anything like that, but um, Harry says if Nina didn't try to connect with Willow, then people would call her selfish, unfeeling, and amateur. I can see that, Kyrie. I can see that. Angela's in the chat. What's good, Angela? Yeah, Jessica says, yeah, no one I know watched GH, just me and my mom. It's very true, Jessica. I can't think of one person I actually knew back then that used to watch it. Um, Funny, I did get some of my friends into watching All My Children actually. Out of all shows, and I didn't even watch that. All My Children and One Life to Live in Degrassi, even though it wasn't like a traditional soap opera. Um, When they said you ever watched a show that was so bad you couldn't stop watching it because you wanted to know what was going to happen next. Um, Kind of, Monique. Legacies. It's a show that came after the originals, but I think I wanted to watch it because I was waiting for it to get good. I think that's my whole thing. I was waiting for it to get good. I sat through 4 seasons waiting for it to get good. It did get good, but it took 4 seasons to do it. Now, Value says, I love Sonny in the past, but if he leaves now, I will get over it. I feel like most people will. I do. I feel like most people will. And Nikki said before, we are old and wise, we are young and dumb. Some of us, I know I was naive in my 20s, and before I feel pretty settled into myself. That no, it does. It does, Nikisha, it does. Um, I'm just saying, like, I'm glad that I'm meeting everyone now. Like the this version of me now. Because the version back then um was something else. But that's all I was meant to say as far as like the water passenger story and all that other stuff. You know, back in the show, back in the day when they actually used to have Georgie as a character. Mel says there will be no Kate, Kayla, Marlena, John. Friday and oh, they're gonna come back Friday and Thursday with Megan. Shonda says, remember Sonny never put women into business, but Carly was hard headed. Shonda, you remember when the other version Tamara came in with a baseball bat to one of Sonny's meetings? Becky says One Life to Live was better than anything left on. Well, you know, Becky D, I would say this much. One Life to Live was my first soap opera I started watching to get me into these soap operas. One Life to Live, and then Port Charles, and so forth and so forth. Monique says I got stuck watching All My Children as a child because I couldn't find the remote. Okay, I didn't feel like looking for it. Monique, remember there was a point where people used to actually get up and like change the channel? I know that sounds stupid now, but there was a point where people used to actually get up, change the channel, and be fiddling around with antennas and yeah. And Darby said, JB, don't tell anybody, but sometimes I feel sorry for Nina. You know, Becky, you know, Darby 13, I actually do sometimes too, especially with this whole Willow thing. I do. I feel sorry for her. Now, her actions, the way she goes about it is, well, it's very Nina like, but I do feel somewhat bad for her. And I am on her side when it comes to Carly in this situation. Arpadoc is in it. Arpadoc, Arpadoc's in the chat. Sunny is becoming irrelevant. Unfortunately, what are the what are the products that he moves? How have you been? Oh, yeah, Nikisha, people used to actually get up and like, you know, change the channel. Now, Opera Doc says I grew up with black and white TV and no cable or remote. But yeah, we used to actually have to use that antenna. Use that antenna. And then they actually made you pay for reception. Yeah, and Justice and White Live characters move to GH, help get me into GH. Oh, okay, interesting. Monique says, anybody, grandparents ever call you downstairs to change TV when? Now I remember that. Yeah, took me a minute. Tony D says, I think people would sympathize with Nina if she wasn't such a hypocrite. If she suddenly found out Willow wasn't her daughter, she'd go right back to hating her. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like she would have some sympathy. I would love to believe that Nina, because Nina does have a soul. She's not the devil incarnate, you know. That's very true. He doesn't do hugs. Doesn't do hugs. Yeah, Jessica, she does love to sit there and rewrite history. Now, Nikki said if Nina would own the way she treated Willow, I could enjoy her. She's crazy AF, but could be fun to watch, but it's frustrating because Nina doesn't know she's crazy. Carly does own most of her crap. Shana says nope, Nina gets no sympathy here. That's right. Shauna says Nina gets no sympathy here now. Becky D says no other people got their kids to change the channel and move the foil on the. Oh my god! Oh my god! As soon as you said foil, I was like, "Yeah, I'm actually old enough to remember that." I didn't do that, but I remember people sitting there telling me about that. My parents did. Oh yes, Monique. Now we're talking old school. Yeah, I'm actually showing my age here. W says Sonny needs a. Yeah. Opera Doc. Todd Manning was my Todd Manning and Colin were my characters on One Life to Live. Carrie says Nina's not heartless like her other daughter now. Yeah, no, Carrie, that's always it says like she's not the devil. She you know what I'm saying? Like she does have a heart, yeah, she does have a heart. She does things that piss people off to a point where people feel like she doesn't, but she does though. Wow, okay. All right, Anna. You does say okay, all right. I get it. Shauna said Shauna said the same thing. Darby says my parents used to make me come change channels with. Oh wow, that is old. You know, it's really funny, Darby. That is old school, but I do remember using pliers for stuff like that. Wow. As soon as you said pliers, that took me back. That took me back. I think we're going to end the chat here because one, I think I actually might have been on for a while. So, and my battery's getting kind of low, which we're at like 18%. So I do want to thank you all for joining. Thank you for listening to me. Regardless, regardless of the um, I don't even know what to call it. Sounding all clogged up. Yes, that's what it is. Sounding all clogged up. Regardless of me sounding all clogged up, I appreciate everyone just coming in the chat, having a good time. This was the best time because of everyone here. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Kyrie's. Oh, and Kyrie's, I fixed the whole membership gifting thing. I know I forgot to say something. I fixed that last night. So have a good night, Kyrie's. Have a good night, Valerie. Yeah, Jay Blue, I'm sick. I'm feeling better, but I'm still kind of stuffed up. That's what it is, stuffed up. But no sore throat though. So have a good night, Jessica. Have a good night, Jay Blue. Have a good night, Laura B. Have a good night, Nikisha. Have a good night, Monique. Thank you, Darby. Yes, hit the like button. It really does help out. We're getting new people all the time, and that's literally because of that. It is. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you, Opera Doc. We're gonna. I feel like I kind of want to have a nickname for you. Thank you, Jay Blue. Thank you. Have a good night, Shauna. Thank you for joining. Thank you, Becky D. Yes, hit the like button. It helps. It really does. So thank you, everyone. Ugh. Have a good night, CW. Have a good night, Blackmon. Well, I said good night to most people. So most people that left, I said good night to them. So thank you, everyone, for joining. Yes, I'll take it. No, next time you're in the chat, I got to think of one. If you come up with one, if you come up with a nickname, then I'll call you by your nickname. Thank you, CW, and thank you, Darby. Have a good night, and I will see you in the next live stream and review. Thank you. Excuse me. Thank you, Opera Doc. Usually, when I get a lot of sleep, it definitely does help. So that's what I plan on doing tomorrow. Especially if I'm feeling like this, I think I'm just probably just going to be in a bed. Except when I do reviews and going back to bed. Thank you, Tony D. Thank you so much. All right, everyone. Have a good night. Have a good night, Mel. Thank you for joining as always. It's always a pleasure. Yes, LaShawn. That is how you pronounce your name, right, LaShawn? Oh, LaShawn? LaShawn, right? Yeah, she was on one of yours. Yes. Thank you, Shakira. Thank you. You know, it's weird because I didn't see you in the chat, so maybe you were just listening in. Have a good night, Anna. Stay safe. And yeah, I hope I get to see you in the next live stream. LaShawn. Oh yeah, now I'm coughing. So yeah. Thank you, Mel. Thank you. Thank you, Mel. I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you being in the chat. I really do. Have a good night, Anna. Anna B. I'm gonna get your full name, and then I'm gonna separate you from the other Annas. That's what we're gonna do. But have a good night, Anna B. Thank you for joining.